inflations on the show. Inflation is up there, and if you are following the report on inflation right now, you would agree with me that the last inflation score did not capture entirely the inflationary rate in the country. It did not capture entirely the inflation rate in the country. And then when you now add to the inflation that will happen as a result of the current pump price increment, there is the likelihood that inflation is likely to go even higher and things are likely to be more expensive. That's what it means in lay terms or layman terms. Things are likely to get more expensive. And then I'm thinking, transportation is already high there. I'm also thinking, okay, someone just sent me a message. We're buying $8.50 currently in Bunny. That's what it costs for a liter of petrol in Bunny Island, that is. So I mean, you get the gist now, right? So I'm thinking, transportation is expensive. We've seen federal tertiary institutions increase tuition fee because they are also being faced by economic realities. Yesterday in the news, we told you that the NBC is also going to increase the licensing fee for broadcast stations, both print and TV, radio, and all of them. All of that will also be put into the economy. Let's see now. What else? Of course, you already know food prices are up there. What else is affected now? I'm thinking. Oh, house rent. House rent is also going up there. There is the foreign exchange, which is not smiling on Nigerians who have children outside the country that they're paying fees for. There are several other things I cannot remember now, but just generally, the prices of things, of commodities, have gone up. And it means that the common man is faced with a very, very tough economic reality. Minimum wage is still 30,000 naira, which means that a lot of people may not have seen an increment in their salary structure. Also, you want to also look at the statistics that says about 60 to 80% of our population are in the informal sector. That means they are entrepreneurs who are in the marketplace, who are selling in shops, who are you get the gist, right? You get the gist. And so it then makes me ponder on how a lot of people are surviving. And that's why I started with that song, How Are You, My Friend? But I've asked that question before, so I'm not going to go back to that question. Since May 29, the prices of things in the marketplace has continually gone up. You heard in the news, when I was reading the news update, that the association responsible for workers in colleges of education have said, see, go to work only twice a week. Only twice a week. NLC has reacted and said, see, we're not going to be a part of the negotiations anymore. It's crazy. This is wickedness. We will take actions into our hands. That's what NLC has said. At plenary today, a lawmaker stood up and asked that there should be a bill regulating the pricing of petrol. The conversation did not last long in that plenary, but I hear that the NNPCL and independent marketers have been invited to come explain how the increment happened. So everybody's reacting to it. The lawmakers are reacting, Nigerians are reacting, Labour is reacting. Tertiary institutions are reacting. But I'm more concerned about you listening to the show. How have you been impacted? How are you reacting to this? Because I read a newspaper page this morning, and I saw stories of people going back home because they could not afford the transportation from point A to point B. And I can imagine what it would be like now traveling from Rumokoro to Choba, for instance. The price of transport would have gone up. I can also imagine, even though I know we've got, the bus transits as palliative from the state government, it cannot carry everybody, right? So there will still be people who would use, other means of transportation other than that bus palliative. And imagine traveling from Rumokoro to Mile 1, for instance. That's going to be huge. I promise you, it's going to be huge. It's going to be definitely huge. Imagine traveling from Mile 1 to Elemi Junction, for instance. But still, I hear a lot of people coming from Oyibo because of how much rent cost in that area, and so they travel from Oyibo into town to work, every day, Monday to Friday. So imagine what it will cost from Mile 1 to Oyibo, for instance. I could go on and on with the statistics, but today it's not about statistics. Today it's about you. And I want you to call me. Usually when there is a rant on the show, the presenter is the one who would do the rant. But today I'm giving you the mic. And I want you to tell me how you have been impacted by the current pump price. They say Nigerians are resilient people and they always find a way to cope no matter how hard things get. Really, I want to know how you're coping. I'm really very much concerned about that. And that's why when I started the show, the 3 o'clock hour, I started by saying I do not know how to present the show today, because I might just end up sounding like a motivational speaker rather than a presenter. So I'm just going to give it a mic. 17 minutes gone past. This is something affecting both the rich and the poor, just so you know. This is something that is affecting not just one individual, not just it's affecting everybody, so to say. It's affecting everybody. 08179230002, 08179230003. For WhatsApp messages, use this number 0809-0306416. Now, my job is to give you statistics and facts every day, but I do not know how effective that would be today. All right? So tell me. I want you to tell me. But remember, while you're being passionate and sentimental about your contribution, do well to do that constructively, please. Irrespective of me giving you the mic today, it still does not change the fact that you have to be constructive in your contributions, because whether we like it or not, it's still a conversation for development. All right, I've got Clinton from Bori. I'm going to start with Clinton.
Hello,
good evening. Yeah, good evening. Welcome.
This issue has far-reaching effect on both the rich and the poor.
All right.
And I think that I am not fine as an individual because the price of every commodity in the market have gone up. That's skyrocketed. And I think the NSP and the APUC should hold their ground. They should hold their ground because I think before, these bodies were responsible for checkmating the government. But now, we don't see that happening quite often. So I think the minimum wage is not an issue because no matter how much you pay civil servants, and the prices of commodities are not being regulated, it amounts to nothing. So I think the government should be forthcoming. Nigeria is a record nation for quiet land. It makes no sense that we get food from here and send it abroad for refining and bring it back. So I think the government should do well to fix our refineries. Let our refineries work so that Nigerians can see the impact of good governance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've got Robin from HA. Robin, welcome. How has this impacted? Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
You see, talking about the impact, as I talk to you, Personally, my two generator sets are empty. My rechargeable lamp, I cannot recharge it. My wheelbarrow, what I call wheelbarrow, those who know me understand. What I call wheelbarrow is vehicle. And I'm not used to those kind of funfair. The tank is been dry. But please help me and tell Senator Ahmed Tinubu, President of Nigeria, I am waiting. When the fuel will hit 1,000 naira, either December or next week, I will drive it in that condition with friends. Wherever the fuel finishes, we are going to push it and drop it at the government house. Let the governor help me and send it to Abuja. I don't need it.
All right.
We cannot live in a country where we own the resources together and some persons are living in affluence. And what some of us do is to continue to complain and live in abject dissolution.
All right.
Why is the National Assembly, they are always problem? Why can't they call or summon the president to come and explain why he has not made any comment about the refineries? He has saved 400 billion the first 1 month. 2 months is going to be 800 billion. And so and so. Why are they not inviting him to explain? What are they probing?
Robin, I've tried to explain this to you before. When they say they have saved, it does not necessarily mean that they have the money at hand. Now, when something is budgeted for, when you budget for something, it does not necessarily mean you have the money at the time. You just put an estimate of what you want to spend. Like when you want to go to the market, for instance. And so instead of them to have, I'm going somewhere, instead of them to have spent that money, they did not spend it. That's what they meant by they have saved. That's basically what it is. So it could be money they have, money they don't have. But the bottom line is they did not spend 400, is it, billion?
Kalada, that's what you are explaining.
Yeah.
It's an elementary economics.
All right.
That budget is not money at hand.
All right.
I am referring to what the president said they have saved in the first 1 month.
We're saying the same thing. That's what I'm explaining to you. They have saved does not mean they have the money. That's what I just explained.
Good. They don't have, but they have borrowed. That's my point, Canada.
Okay.
The point I'm making is that why is the government not making effort to ensure the refineries are working or they build a new one? Why are they silent?
All right.
Why are they silent about that?
All right then. All right. Thank you, Robin. I've got to go now. Robin, I'm sorry.
Because you're always off mic there.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Vincent from Port Harcourt, welcome.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Vincent.
All
well,
right.
To be honest with you, I've really lost hope on Tinubu government. So I think the people, the masses, should be able to adopt other form of energies. Like now, I've decided, at least I knew that this kind of thing was going to happen. That was why when I bought my car, I bought an hybrid, Toyota hybrid, that uses both battery and petrol.
Electricity and petrol, you mean?
Yes, that's Toyota hybrid.
Okay.
That's what I'm driving now. Then also, I've already made arrangements to convert my generator to start using gas. LPG or CNG. Then also, I've also tried, like, since there is epileptic power supply, I just ordered some solar power banks to be able to charge my phone in case if there is no power. I can just put it outside the sun and charge my phone. So Nigeria should be very intelligent. Forget about Tinubu. Tinubu has nothing to offer to Nigeria.
All right.
Let's focus on other alternative energies and then just forget about this government until probably when the leaders of Nigeria decide to make Nigeria
all right.
better.
Thank you very much. I've got to go now. I've got a commercial break coming up. Sorry, Emeka from Elekaya. I can't take your call now. There's a commercial break coming up next. been impacted by this? Really, I like to know. But I liked what the last caller did say. You need to look for alternatives. You need to, he's bought an hybrid car. He's done some changes to his generating set. It now uses CNG, and is bought solar chargers so he can charge his devices, his mobile devices. So that's him, getting used to the system. What about you? Has this impacted you? Braid is calling from Transamadi. Braid, greetings to you.
Canada, greetings to you.
All right, welcome. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Canada, the fuel hike in River State. For me, now, NNPC sells 591 naira.
Yeah.
And there are some other filling stations selling 650, 630, 620, and thereabouts. Canada, does the government have something for the market? Can you answer me?
If the government has, first of all, I'm not working for the government, but secondly, I mean, according to Dele Alake yesterday, they've got other palliatives apart from the 8,000 naira. What do you call it now? Shared the 8,000 naira palliative policy that they were intending to use for 12 million households.
Canada, the only palliative that will go down to the average Nigerian is the palliative of having a muslin refinery, put the refinery we have on track, we put them, let the refinery begin to give us fuel. For them to work on our steel industry, our Jakarta steel industry, and also look at muslin refinery.
Right.
Now you agree with me that fact we share which amount of trillions in the history of this country. This is the highest. What is that sharing for? As it trickles down to the state, would the state go into agriculture, like River State, go into agriculture? We have the Songhai farm, we have the banana plantation, we have food land, and we also have the Buguma fish farm. And the local government can also go into agriculture, like go into that, and also go into fish farming. That will enable them also have IGRO.
All right.
It will also create employment.
All right.
See, it's not by increasing workers' salary.
All right.
By increasing workers' salary, you are not also helping the masses. If you increase the workers' salary, those that are not civil servants, what happens to them? What happens to the SME?
All right, Braid, I've got to go now. Braid, I've got to go. Thank you very much.
If the government does not have anything, let us drive our vehicle. When we get to government house, when we finish, we park it there and go away.
Thank you very much, Braid. Thank you very much, Braid. I've got to go now. Let's read some messages. This one says, Canada, I like what is happening as regards the petrol situation and its socio-economic effects on the people. The price is up today, but it will also go down once the market forces change positively. Look, whether we like it or not, this is the new normal, and Nigerians must adapt to the situation and find smart ways to survive, which we are good at. Furthermore, Nigerian business should not be quick in adjusting cost of goods and services. Besides, the situation will ultimately and indirectly force the government to rethink governance in a positive way. It's just a matter of time. NLC should not bother to go on strike, but must put pressure on the government to expand and increase the palliatives to cushion the effects. Now, I do agree that it has a long-term positive effect, but I do think we started, in a very wrong way. We could have put certain things on the ground before we started this journey. But this one says, good evening, Canada. There are loads of questions begging for answers concerning the graveyard silence of the federal government about fixing our refineries. At this juncture, that remains the only solution to our predicament. But the FG has chosen to turn deaf ears to the yearnings of many Nigerians about fixing the refineries. As today goes by, Nigerians slide into poverty, judged from Rumacruci. Let's see. Kalada, do you know that any day they put our refinery in order, it means that their charm has been neutralized? But many masters... You say, but my master is coming to take control of the government, and then there will be no more sorrow, no more nepotism, and justice will prevail to the end. All right, Chris Onyenwe, that's your take. And let's see. This one says, good evening, Katie. Because of the present economic reality, please regulate and allot just 2 minutes to each caller to avoid call apathy and save the credit unit on the callers on the queue, Mr. Zion. All right, Mr. Zion, thank you. This one says, good evening, Kalada. I'm a sales girl in a chemist shop. I paid 200 naira to work today. That means I'm spending 400 naira every day. My salary is 15,000. I don't know if I should quit the job and to get another job, but it's not easy. Nigeria should help us, please. All right, this one says, let the poor masses breathe and live. I join my voice in that, like they would say. This one says, good afternoon. We're buying at 850 naira in Boni. All right, thank you very much. Trekking is the best option. Kudos to them. Patrick is sending a message there. And this one says, good evening, Kalada. Tinubu has disappointed Nigerians from 29th of June, May you meant, when he took over government of Nigeria. Everything has gone up. Is this the dividends of democracy? Knowing fully well that our refineries are not working, why must you remove the petrol subsidy? Some of us cannot go to school again because of high transportation. Why did President Tinubu just decide to suffer the masses? God, okay, I'm not going to read a part, but Paulinus Lima from Alu, thank you very much. I'm going to go back to the phone lines, 0817 923